like easy. Lay me down, baby.
on the beat.
My name is Billy Garnett and welcome back to another episode of The First Call Out, or another vlog of The First Call Out. The First Call Out being a go-to for everything IFBB Pro shows. There is two shows we missed coming off the back of the last show. We missed out the IFBB City Limits and the Governor's Cup, which is held in Sacramento, California, Cali. Oh, in those two pro shows, there's, I think in IFBB City Limits, it's only Men's Physique. And I know from the Governor's Cup, it's Women's Figure Pro and Masters Figure Pro. There was two shows, I think Orlando was around March 11th, which we did miss. But I think it wasn't, I think that also was like figure or fitness or something. Well, not that big of a deal. Ideally what the First Call Out wants to cover is Men's Open, Men's 212, Men's Classic, Men's Physique, and Women's Bikini, Women's Fitness, and maybe figure here and there. But, interesting topic, coming off the IFBB City Limits, which was April 1st. Does anybody else agree that Men's Physique is really starting to look like Men's Miniature Classic Physique? This year it's really starting to look like, especially in Men's Physique, and that's why this topic came up, is that Men's Physique is really starting to look like Miniature Men's Classic Physique. Because let's go back into like Men's Physique when Mark Anthony first won it in the Olympia 3, 4, 5 years ago, whenever it started, or whenever it became main stage material. The guys then actually had I never thought Mark Anthony had an Olympia winning physique, but the guys then actually had very much a fitnessy, beachy physique style. Over the last week, and just looking at shows and IFBB shows and Men's Physique shows, it seems as if they're going really on the Men's Classic Physique, only on a miniature frame. Especially with the stance and especially with the front and back posing. I just think it's going very classic miniature, and the physique fitnessy style, or the physique fitnessy look of the dudes is vanishing. And here's a really good point if you actually want to go back and like research, or maybe just look at some videos. Go to the IFBB Pro Hawaii, you go on YouTube, you click it, go on IFBB Pro Hawaii, look at the top 6, look at IFBB Pro Steve Cook, I know you'll know that name, look at Steve Cook's front relax pose, and then look at Andre Ferguson's front relax pose, which the way that's the posing that's going, but how much more aesthetically pleasing fitnessy physique is Steve Cook's frame versus Andre Ferguson's frame. And then just look at George Brown, Ryan Terry, I can't say Jason Poston because he's now classic, Jeremy, the two Jeremys actually. Just look at like how older I can't even say old school because it's not even old school, but like 3-4 years ago, how that physique of Steve Cook's, the physique, fitnessy, athletic-y, beachy look is now going in Men's Physique as towards the guys I just mentioned. But anyway, now that's out of the way and I've dragged on. I just think Men's Physique is going very miniature Men's Classic Physique, and I don't like it, but that's just IMO. Anyway, alright, so let's catch up. IFBB City Limits Pro, which was Men's Physique. Winner was George Brown. Second was Raymond. It was Raymond Edwards. And then third place was Michael Ferguson. If you don't know who George Brown is, let me just show you. George Brown has a phenomenal physique. I actually don't think this is George Brown at the show. Actually it is, this is George's show. Bing, I'll just put it up on the page. This is George at the show. Great front pose, but very Men's Miniature Classic, especially with his stance. On the other hand, you have Raymond Edwards, and I actually thought Raymond had a very good physique as well too. I just think his is more on the lines of physique-y, fitnessy look, as opposed to George. And then Michael Ferguson is in there as well too. But in order to keep this show as short as possible, let's get on to the next one. This is Michael Ferguson, right? Very much a Men's Miniature Classic Physique dude. Not, IMO aesthetically pleasing. That's, I guess, the way Men's Physique is going. And I guess if you're watching this and you're a Men's Physique or you're interested at all, that's the way it's going and that's what you're gonna have to do. Let's go on to Governor's Cup, which was in Sacramento, Cali. That also was in April 1st or 2nd, I think. And Figure Pro winner was Sandra. I never know how to pronounce her name. I think it's Gajales or Gajales. She's a pretty good pro. She has got the look. So Sandra is the Figure Pro for the Governor's Cup. This is Sandra, and I think Sandra's going to do really, really well this year in the Olympia. I think she's going to come out maybe in the top 6 if she maintains the conditioning she had here. And second was Wendy Fortino and Natalia Soltero. This being Natalia. And then it went into Masters Figure Pro, which is 35 and over, and that was Sarah Ford, Carolyn Harris, and then Michelle Brown came in 3rd. Other than that, that's what the show is about today. So it's about Men's Physique. I just really, no, don't get me wrong, we talked about Ryan Terry winning his show. I talk about how much I feel Ryan Terry's going to win the Olympia this year, not Jeremy Buendia. I think Ryan's going to have it simply based off his posing. I don't know what it is. I just see Men's Physique is going in the way of like miniature men's classic, and I don't really like it. I don't know why it's happening. I don't know why that's the way it's going down. George and Raymond have, I prefer this physique. I do prefer this physique. I just don't think it's Men's Physique. And the same goes for Andre Ferguson. The same goes for Jeremy Buendia. I don't think the same goes for Jeremy Patton. I don't think the same goes for Ryan Terry. Although Ryan, I love you, worked with you before. I just want to see Men's Physique remain physique-y, athletic, attainable. Some of these dudes' physique. Look at Brandon, top 4 Olympia last year, Men's Physique. The dude is as wide as a house. His shoulders and caps are huge. I don't think that look is attainable, although it's phenomenal. I know I love these dudes' physique, so don't take what I'm saying out of context. I really do love their physique. I'm just saying as a federation as a whole, I think it's slightly just deteriorating away from Men's Physique and attaching itself to a miniature men's classic physique. But anyway, that's all I have for this week. There are a few shows coming up now, April 8th, April 9th. We will be covering those. I am going to be doing a video post this on Men's Physique, the how to pose, how not to pose, what they were looking for, what they are now looking for. So if you're an NPC competitor, you probably are going to be interested in watching it. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But outside of that, my name is Billy Garnon. Thank you for checking out the first call out. See you soon.